Cleveland Browns come away with a big-time win against the Las Vegas Raiders, 24-10, in Shedeur Sanders' debut. I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to the narrative, it's starting to slowly shift on Shedeur Sanders. And for once, it's actually kind of positive. We'll come back and detail it on the greatest 30 minutes of your life. I don't know, it's the fastest and the greatest now because it's G. Bush right here with the Ultimate Browns. Welcome on in. We got an exciting show planned for you. As always, 30 minutes of nonstop action. It's your boy G. Bush right here and with the Ultimate Browns. Coming up on the show, should Shedeur Sanders be guaranteed the starting role the rest of the season? Can we talk about that a little bit? After his debut, he played one. He's been 2 games now. Should he be the guy? Should they just say, you know what, Shedeur, you're the guy. Let it roll. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Also, game balls. Chad Ochocinco and Unk over there. Man, they talking about they said, listen, Stefanski is throwing shade. Where do I come out on this situation? We'll talk about, should Shedeur Sanders been given that game ball? A lot of people's upset about it on social media. We'll talk about it as well. But first, before we get to any of that, we want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Peloton.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
I've noticed a couple of things, right? And I think I started to notice this on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show with Joe Thomas. If you have not seen that, make sure you check that out on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We had Joe Thomas on talking about what he saw in Shedeur Sanders. And the thing that I've known and I've come to see is that there are a lot of people. Joe Thomas, one of the guys that I really respect in terms of what he said earlier about the quarterback situation, is that you'll relatively see it very quickly who can play and who cannot play. And Joe Thomas, I gave Shedeur Sanders a B. I've been breaking it down and I've been talking about it, and I'm a Shedeur Sanders supporter. But Joe Thomas said, listen, if we giving grades out, I got to give him an A. I got to give him an A. Look at the way the sideline is reacting. Look at the way he acclimated himself. Look at the football he threw. Look at the way that the offense moved and put up the points. And right now what we're starting to see is the narrative is shifting a little bit on Shedeur Sanders. The Diana Rossini article came out talking about inside the Cleveland Browns. And I look, again, like I'm just give you credit for this. And I'm just throw it out there. Yours truly, G. Bush, was going back and forth with people on Twitter all day long talking about whether or not I had sources or I spoke to people when I said Shedeur Sanders got a lot of people in that organization that's excited to see him play. And they thought that was sacrilege. Like I was just running around here being the boy that cried wolf. Well, listen, that's water under the bridge. But Joe Thomas points out some of the things that people are seeing. It's the stuff that is palpable. It's the stuff that we see on film from Shedeur Sanders, and we see the energy level, and we see how Andrew Berry is embracing him. You see how Myles Garrett is looking like, whoa, I ain't seen a throw like that in a minute. So there's a lot of different things that people are seeing now. Now, there's still some people on the internet that's going to be, not very high on Shedeur Sanders. There's a lot that goes into that, and we'll get to that in some of the game ball situation. We'll break that down here as well. But there's a lot of people who are pushing back because of the human nature of it, right? Shedeur Sanders has a large fan base, and a lot of what people is doing is they've made it a personal issue. They've made it an issue where I'm going to argue back and forth with people, back and forth. I was on Rob Parker's show on Fox Sports. Shout out to Rob Parker. And he said it, man, G. Bush, man, it's just the fact that, Shedeur fans are annoying. And I'm like, look, man, I'm a football guy first and foremost. What I care about the most is what's going on in this football field. If he got supporters, you're going to have supporters everywhere. But the thing that I'm looking at is what's going on that football field. I've always said what you do on the football field going to keep you on the football field or keep you off of it. And so for me, I'm interested in what Joe Thomas is talking about, and what I'm seeing is the Cleveland Browns moving forward and might find something. And you start to see the narrative shift, because I've always said it. Once you get on the field, it's undeniable. You can write all the articles you want. An article is never going to be as potent as seeing that throw he threw to Isaiah Bond. It's never going to be as potent as watching the team move up and down the field and put points on the board. Articles is never going to be as potent as what you see, and if the Cleveland Browns are winning football games. And Joe Thomas is just one of those guys. Ross Tucker was on the show today. He said he was super impressed by what he saw. He saw that it was night and day, the progression from one week to the next week. And the thing I think about Shedeur Sanders is there's a lot of people acting as if people are out here taking victory laps. No one's taking no victory laps. No one's jumping up and down like we won the Super Bowl. Because for most of us, this was something we already knew. If you watch Shedeur Sanders and you watched him pre-draft and you watched him at Jackson State and you watched him at Colorado, some of the same things and intangibles that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks is the same thing what we were seeing for 4 or 5 years. This isn't a surprise. And this isn't even a peak. This isn't even like, this isn't like, oh my gosh, we're head over. Listen, man, like he said, I just now started playing. I just now started getting reps. Can you imagine what this is going to look like week 2? Can you imagine what this looks like if me and Tommy Reese start locking in? And when we start to understand where Jerry Jeudy going to be, and when we start to understand that Cedric Tillman keep on running, because that ball going to be on you. See, right now they thinking it's a different quarterback. No. Right now, when you playing with Shedeur Sanders, that football will be thrown deep. Mary Kay Cabot talked about it today. Hey, this ain't Dylan Gabriel. And no knock to Dylan Gabriel. It's just evident that Dylan Gabriel don't have that skill set. Dylan Gabriel don't have that charisma. And there's no knock on him. Dylan Gabriel has his strong suits. He's still part of the Cleveland Browns. And I root for Dylan Gabriel. But it's different. There's levels to this, man. No disrespect. But when you rolling out to the pocket to the right and you drop that dime the way you do, that makes receivers want to keep running. That makes people want to run hard and get open, because you know that football can be on you. And so some of the things that we're seeing, you're starting to debunk some of this stuff, right? You're starting to see that. A lot of this stuff, when you fight so hard for people to give you an opportunity, sometimes when you get the opportunity and you show what you can do, you be trying to tell people, I told you that. I told you this was going to happen. I told you, you know what it is. We've been saying this for how long? But like Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime is doing, Shedeur Sanders is not sitting around happy he beat the Raiders. He got a game where he coming back to Cleveland. He's been named starter this week. They did it early on Monday, right? They're ready to go. They already named him the starter, and they already putting a game plan in. They looking at what transpired on Monday Night Football, watching these San Francisco 49ers. They're a much better team than the Raiders, but they're not world beaters. The Cleveland Browns are coming off a high. So he's not worried about a lot of different stuff. He worried about putting two of them things together. He worried about moving the needle. He's worried about what we're going to do this week. And that's the difference between when you being the chased or you being the guy that's chasing people. And for so long, when you're just trying to get an opportunity, you chasing people. I'm chasing Flacco. I'm chasing Kenny Pickett. I'm chasing Dylan Gabriel. But once you become the man, you become the man. And I thought what was important was when you heard his press conference and he said, listen, man, it's a responsibility to the organization now that I'm leading it. Now that I'm the guy right now. Now that I'm the guy that I want to be known as the leader. I got a responsibility to defense. I got a responsibility to the Browns because they took me. And a lot of people don't understand. Once he became the guy, he's thinking, this is my team. You see what I'm saying? It ain't the Cleveland Browns versus Shedeur Sanders. This is his team. See, sometimes you can look so much about where you came from that you don't understand the opportunity and the perspective where you at today. Today, you here. Listen, whatever they want to talk about, I don't care what your narrative was. I don't care about what you thought. It's about what I know. And today, we put one win together, and now let's go out there in a 1 o'clock game at home in front of these fans that's going to be excited, in front of the dog pound, in front of these an exuberant Cleveland Browns fan base, and come and let's get another one. Let's stack this thing up. Let's build that momentum. So the energy that we got should be the energy looking forward. The energy that we got ain't about saying, we got our victory laps off. We told y'all we knew what it was. But if you was really locked in and dialed into what Shedeur Sanders was about, and you thought he was a ball player, you knew good and well he was capable of these things. And what we saw is just the tip of the iceberg. So, a lot of y'all be caught up like we just running here blowing smoke, or we didn't really believe in him. We were in some sort of cult or what? No, bro, listen, I'm talking this spicy because I feel like the film stand by it. I watched this for 2-3 years. This ain't no charade. Like, I don't, you think I care about none of that? No, I'm trying to raise that trophy. I'm trying to raise that trophy. I want to win the division. I'm trying to get to the playoffs. Like all the rest of that stuff. Look, you can think what you want to think, but men lie, women lie, and these numbers, them wins, them throws, that's always going to out-trump what you're talking about. And slowly but surely, you starting to see people come around and say, that was different. And whatever successive win, whatever successive throw, whatever, every big play and more acclimated and more reps, the progress is, and the goal is to get better and better and better and better. It's not about no 1 week thing. It ain't about 2 week things. This ain't about a shot in the dark. This ain't about a see what you got. It ain't about none of that. It's about, listen, I'm the starting quarterback. My job is to make sure that I'm stamped. Not just now. I'm talking about next year and the year after that and the year after that. The goal is we trying to be the Burrows, Mahomes, and all them other dudes. Lamar Jacksons. We're not trying to sit here and talk about we better than Dylan Gabriel. No disrespect to Dylan, but that has not been the goal. The goal ain't to just be serviceable. The goal is to get the Cleveland Browns to the ultimate promised land, and that's to hoist that trophy up. When we get back, we got to put some stuff to bed. We got to talk about it. The internet going crazy about it. The Shedeur Sanders have gotten that game ball. He's did something that no other quarterback did in a long, long time. What was Stefanski throwing shade? Was you shading him? Well, Chad Ochocinco had it a certain way. We'll give our 2 cents on it when we get back. You're listening to the Ultimate Browns. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get into the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making a late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when the first $5 bet wins. So head on over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in sports. G. Bush back at you again. Make sure you're checking us out. Coming up this Sunday, 1 p.m., though, it was such a great success. So shout out to everybody who did the watch party. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. It was so successful. We drop a bomb on that and bring it back. Me, Mikey McNuggets, Earl to Pearl. We will be in the building. We will be ready to go for the watch party. Can Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns make it 2 in a row? They take on the San Francisco 49ers from Huntington Bank Stadium live. We'll go live with you guys. We'll go throughout the game. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you set your calendar and be part of the second watch party. Let's make it just as successful as the first one. Let's get to this, man. All of the tea was this. Ocho Cinco said, man, Kevin Stefanski throwing shade. Is he throwing shade? Everybody is talking about it. We talked about it on UCSS today. And one of the things that happened was, at the end of the game, game balls were passed out. Now, Shedeur Sanders became one of the first rookies since 1995, I believe, to win his first start as Cleveland Browns quarterback. And Eric Zier was the guy. Shout out to Eric Zier from the Georgia Bulldogs back in the day. I remember watching him. But Shedeur Sanders was one of the first rookies to do that since 1995. And a lot of people thought that you would surely give Shedeur Sanders that game ball. You would surely make sure Shedeur Sanders got recognized. Now, Coach did mention his name a little bit, but he did not receive a game ball for that. Now, Myles Garrett received the game ball, well-deserved, 3 sacks. He's on a historic run right now, and it looks like he might shatter the NFL sack record. But a lot of people is upset because, well, Kevin Stefanski, they give him no game ball. Well, here's the thing. Tyvis, I think Tyvis did a really good job of explaining, and I think he threw this out there a little bit too. Problem with Kevin Stefanski is right now is that Kevin Stefanski is dealing with the backlash of some of his energy he had during the beginning of the season. During the beginning of the season, Kevin Stefanski had the energy. He said that it was going to be a quarterback competition. And when you set yourself up and say this is a quarterback competition, one of the things that you deal with and you got to understand is people are going to hold you accountable to seeing whether or not it was an actual quarterback competition. It is well documented. Shedeur Sanders was not given the reps. He was not given an opportunity. And people are holding a grudge against that because now they're like, nah, don't come over here now. Nah, don't be over here now trying to show love. Like, that's the energy people got because they called you on your bluff. You didn't really give the reps like that. For me, I was like, yeah, that's definitely true. I had to go see for myself, and it wasn't. It wasn't a true competition. The second thing was, I think some of his answers is a little crazy in the beginning of the season. Some of them, I will always say, and this dude can't even say this dude's name. It was hard for him to say Shedeur Sanders' name, right? Like, he would be asked a question about Shedeur. He would sidestep it. He wouldn't say anything. So here's the thing. When that happens, people are going to get a negative perception about the way you feel about Shedeur Sanders. It just is what it is. I've always told Kevin Stefanski, Kevin, you should have came out and say, listen, we are excited about both our rookie quarterbacks. We like Dylan Gabriel. He has a strong set of capabilities. We like Shedeur. He has a different set of capabilities, but we love our 2 quarterbacks. Our job is to develop both of those guys and to get them in the best position to succeed for the Cleveland Browns. And I would have never came out and told you nothing about no competition because you put an expectation on that then you were going to play him and set it up to be a fair competition, which it wasn't. Now, with that being said, about the shade and the game balls, let me give y'all a quick story. I was in elementary school, and I remember all the time we go to elementary school, and at the end of the year, they was always give out these little awards. Sometimes they would give you an attendance award for those people who showed up every single day. And then they would give you the citizenship award. The citizenship award was the award that they gave to people who, they were good in school. They didn't give the teacher no problems at all. None of that. They didn't give you no problems. It's all good, right? And then they would say, oh, this is the teacher's helper, and he's really good with the other students. He doesn't come to school and disrupt class. He doesn't sleep in class. These are things that we like. You are being a good citizen. Then they got to a point where, hey, maybe you was a good student. You didn't get straight A's, but you was an A and B type student. A and B's. More B's than A's. So you was a good student. They gave you the merit roll. And then it was the top of the food chain, the tippy top. That went for the boys and girls that was getting them A's, them straight A's. They stayed with the 3.6, 3.7, 4.0s, 4.2s. Those, that's honor roll. So I'll never forget. We go to one of the end of year awards, and I was in 5th grade, and I come away, and I ended up getting, my attendance wasn't perfect, but people love me. Teachers love me. I got a good personality. Kids love me. G. Bush, Citizenship Award. Citizenship. They came and gave the grades. I was a good student. Yeah, I didn't really try that hard, but I got B's and A's and B's. I got the merit roll. So now I got 2 awards, citizenship and that merit roll. I said, okay, let's go. When it came time for the honor roll, name wasn't called. I was like, it's all good. I got 2 awards, and I know very many people got 2 awards. Some people just got good attendance. I'm a good student, and I do my thing, and people like me. Then I got to the car, and my mom was like, yeah, that's cool. That's what's up. Dad was like, yeah, that's what's up. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it pushing. We about to go to the store to get something to eat, to cook. I'm like, why y'all ain't pumped? You gonna frame this and put this on the refrigerator? Nah, dog, that's not refrigerator worthy. I said, what you mean? Merit roll, B's. I'm like, my brothers. No disrespect to my brothers. I'm like, they got C's. Why you got their stuff on the refrigerator? And my mom pulled me aside one day and said this. You know what, son? That's good. We understand that you got your merit roll off. We understand that you got your citizenship. She's like, but you know what? When we send you to school, that's bare minimum. We send you to school, and you better be respectful. You better be hardworking, and you better not get a teacher no trouble. That's bare minimum, because there's consequences if you don't. So the citizenship award is cool. I'm like, dang, you just wiped my little citizenship award. You got me out of there on that one. So, well, what about, I get good grades too. Look at this merit roll. Boom, look at this merit roll right here. What you gonna say about that? She said, you know what? We never said you weren't intelligent or smart. See, the problem with you is you don't bring no books home. I never see you studying hard. If you get B's, you don't even study hard. What could you do if you actually study and brought books home and really put time and energy, effort in it? You could have got straight A's, right? I was like, I kind of never thought about that. Never thought about that one. And she said, yeah. So while we are proud of you that you did get these awards and we're happy, we know you can do better and you can do more. And I didn't quite understand that until I got older and out of college, what she was trying to say. Because what she was doing is she was preparing me for the eventual nature of what life is. In this life, you have to be above and beyond great if you want to really receive that excellence. If you want to be successful in this competitive life, you better be out here doing the most. You better be the most successful. You better be the most hardworking. You got to get up early. You got to show up late. You got people going to say stuff about you. You're going to do a lot of things. You might get in arguments, but what do you got, right? What's in here dictates what you get, not about what's on the outside. You may not like G. Bush. You may not like what I say half the time, but here's the thing. While you sleeping, I'm working. While you running around here talking about what you used to do, I'm talking about what I just did. When you talking about all those things matter. And I didn't understand it till she was telling me that. You say, G. Bush, you're talking all these analogies and stuff. What does this got to do with the game ball? Well, here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders. I expect more from Shedeur Sanders. This ain't no just fun story. I expect Shedeur Sanders to be a franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And the franchise quarterback of the Cleveland Browns is so much bigger than a game ball. Actually, to be truthful, it might almost be beneath him. Because it's something that he shouldn't even concern himself with. His job is concerning himself with winning and keeping that starting quarterback job, making sure the Cleveland Browns win football games and getting to the playoffs and winning the championship. In the course of all of those things happening, will you get some accolades? Yes, you will. Will you get some people that pat you on the back? Yeah. Will some people be excited and throw the wrist up and pat you on the back? Yes. But guess what? That ain't what all I'm expecting out of you. I already know what you got. Your dad know what you got. All the people that supported you in Colorado and Jackson State know what you're about. And so when we talking about no footballs and whether or not they're going to celebrate you, you know how you get celebrated? You get celebrated by your teammates saying, man, that throw he just threw, only 3 quarterbacks in the league can make that throw. You know how you get celebrated? When this general manager pull up on you and dap you up and say, man, that was a great game. Let's keep it moving. When your offensive lineman lifts you up and say, man, that's what I'm talking about. You see, you see how they blocked? That's your reward. The week before you was running for your life. This week, they did a good job of pass protecting. When they ask about you, they say, man, this dude comes in, stays early. He got a good, he moving around. Those are your rewards. The game balls and all that other stuff, the people on the outside can argue about that. But as far as me and G. Bush is concerned, that's bare minimum. You didn't think Shedeur Sanders can play? You didn't think he could throw the football like that? I don't care nothing about no game balls. And frankly, he don't either. Because week after week after week after week, when you start putting games together and numbers together and wins together, ask yourself this. Does Lamar Jackson care about a game ball? No, it's Lamar Jackson. I'm an MVP. Does Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, do they care about game footballs? No. You know why? Because they are now judged on whether or not you're going to go to the Super Bowl and do you end the curse. Right now, Josh Allen got bigger fish to fry. The Buffalo Bills is in the same position as us. They ain't won that trophy. Lamar Jackson ain't won that trophy. Huh? Patrick Mahomes, right? They trying to figure it. Justin Herbert, yeah, you a franchise quarterback, but we trying to win that trophy. That's the level I look at with Shedeur Sanders. Don't give me no citizenship awards. Game balls is citizenship awards. And he would say that too. Is he complaining about it? No. He's getting ready for the 49ers. And that's what we should be ready to get to as well. When we come back, we'll talk about this. Should you be guaranteed the starting role? Hey, Dylan Gabriel got 6 games, but does that mean Shedeur Sanders should be guaranteed that he's going to be the starter moving forward? We'll talk about it and debate it right here on the Ultimate Browns. Give big this year with a Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new home or cash prize this holiday season and help make the wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana region since 1983. This year's house is a custom-built ranch by Petros Homes and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 3-car garage. It also includes amazing features like a great room with vaulted ceilings that extends to the outdoors, an unbelievable kitchen with beautiful finishes and large hidden pantry, a mud room with open lockers and unique pet shower station. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th. So get your $100 ticket now. Just visit homefortheholidays.org to buy your tickets. That's homefortheholidays.org. Terms and conditions will apply. Welcome back to the Ultimate Browns. G. Bush back at it again. Make sure you check us out, man. And as always, make sure you watch us on the Barbershop, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. On Saturdays. We will get to that. And of course, make sure you check us out on the UCSS network. Hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss any of our content. And happy Thanksgiving to all those out there. Be with your families, be thankful for something. And what I'm thankful for most is I'm thankful for everybody that checks out UCSS, thankful for everybody that supports the Barbershop, thankful that you guys make us a part of your listening habits each and every day, and we cannot do it without you guys. Now, let's talk about this, man. Should Shedeur Sanders be named the starter the rest of the year? Kevin Stefanski came out and talked about, hey, we feel like Shedeur Sanders is going to give us an opportunity. He played well. Let's go ahead and give him a start. When Mary Kay Cabot, or I think it was Mary Kay, or one of the beat reporters asked him specifically, will he be the starter moving forward for the rest of the entire season? He said, I'm just concentrating on the 49ers game. Now, listen, don't take this the wrong way. Kevin Stefanski is always going to say this. Any coach will say that, because they don't want to pigeonhole themselves into saying, oh, you're going to start the rest of the year, and then all of a sudden something happened, and then you make the switch, and people going to say you flip-flopping. Here's the real thing about it. A lot of people, and I've told people this, people keep thinking that this is a Kevin Stefanski type deal, like thinking like he has control over this. He ain't got no control over whether Shedeur Sanders is starting or not. Do you think even if he didn't want to start Shedeur Sanders after the way he played, you think Andrew Berry and the owner would be like, sure, start Dylan Gabriel? No. Under no circumstances is he coming out. Nobody in the country believes that he should be coming out of the football game. It's one of these unwritten things, right? Just because somebody don't say it, don't mean it ain't true. Like, there's a lot of people reading into Kevin Stefanski. I keep trying to tell y'all this, and it's funny to me. Like, Kevin Stefanski, you should have known what type of time we was on when they traded Flacco. When they traded Joe Flacco up underneath his nose, you should have known the owner or the GM was like, no, we got this. We cool. Come on. You think Jimmy Haslam? I haven't seen Jimmy Haslam at the other game, but was Jimmy Haslam not there with JW? Was he not there with Andrew Berry sitting in the triumvirate in the press box with the Raiders? They was all hands on deck. They didn't show those folks for no reason. The thing that people don't understand is they are thinking of this thing long term. Like people keep thinking and understanding, like you guys are not understanding what's going on right now. Look at the draft class Andrew Berry just had. Carson Schwarzenegger is going to be the defensive rookie of the year. He might be a Pro Bowler. By the way, if you guys want to, everybody is on it now, but everybody told y'all trade Myles Garrett for some picks, right? Right? You said trade picks. No, the reason you keep Myles Garrett, like I told you, the reason you can't trade Myles Garrett, like I told you, was a simple fact. I said, listen, if Myles Garrett wants traded, y'all better go back and figure this thing out and get him back. You don't trade Hall of Famers. And the reason you don't is because the exact reason the Cleveland Browns can play two rookies and still win games is because that guy on the defensive side of the ball is balling. Devin Bush having a great year. Grant Delpit having a great year. Look at Mason Graham had one of his best games. He was dominant. Malik Collins was a signing. He had 6.5 sacks as a defensive tackle. Alex Wright been balling. Isaiah McGuire been balling. Quinshon Judkins, Harold Fannin Jr. He got pick after pick after pick after pick. And by the way, if Shedeur Sanders hit, you might as well go ahead and let him know. He might as well go sign him a new deal tomorrow. Let Shedeur be good. But the reality of the situation is this. This foregone conclusion that you think that you're going to go out here and get you another quarterback when you got a guy who is, whatever quarterback you got that you get is not going to be more marketable than Shedeur Sanders. Whatever quarterback you go get is not going to have the it thing like he got. People follow this dude, and the locker room respects him. And also, it's hard-pressed to find a guy that was that celebrated, that has that amount of wins, that has that level of tape out here, and he's already in your system, and he's playing well without any reps. This is his second week getting some of this, the first week really doing it. So the thing is, people start to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to go get, bro, listen, you don't think Andrew Berry's sitting here saying, if we get somebody to coach this dude up, we got a young play caller in Tommy Rees, let him run 3-4 games off at the end of this season and he look good. I could go take them picks and maximize and do something else with them picks. And by the way, we got him for dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. So I don't care what Kevin Stefanski is talking about. Y'all should have stopped listening to him weeks ago. He ain't got no sauce. He ain't got no juice. You think, like, the only thing he can control is the game balls and the challenge flag and the timeouts. That's it. He ain't calling no blitzes. He not calling no passes. It is what it is. So if he don't want to name him, even a blind man can see that Shedeur Sanders will be playing, and chances are he will be the starting quarterback the rest of the year. And if he win this game against the San Francisco 49ers, all y'all going to be in trouble. All y'all going to be like, oh, my goodness. Because guess what? That momentum going to jump. People go all around the world going to be tuned in, ready to go. And the one thing that I got to get to, too, and I almost forgot about this. I almost slipped up and forgot about this. Here's your problem. Here's the thing that people need to stop doing, and I've been noticing it. It's so many people on these Twitter spaces, and there's so many people that's on Facebook or YouTube or whatever in the comment section. Y'all so worried about y'all having a back and forth with Shedeur Sanders fans that you missing the whole boat. Why you like people make stuff about them just because you don't like how somebody is supporting somebody or they said they supporting that guy. All of a sudden, you looking at the game with a skewed sense of what's going on. Now, you can't even enjoy the game. You can't even enjoy the passes. You can't enjoy the wins because you're so worried about what his fans is talking about. Oh my gosh, the Shador fans, they're so annoying. Bro, listen, if I got into this game and worried about everything somebody's fan, people say, remember Tim Tebow fans? I say, no, I don't remember Tim Tebow fans. You know why? Because I was just watching the game. I wasn't running around here talking about what Tim Tebow fans was doing. I was over here talking about whether Tim Tebow was winning, what did he look like on the field, and how does that translate to next year. See, there's a lot of Browns fans that got caught up in so much soap opera narrative because we ain't never won nothing, because we done lost it for years. So now we invested more in the chats. We invested more in arguing back and forth with each other and always trying to tell me whether he good or not, how this going to work, what's this going to be, the quarterback this next year. Bro, I'm dialed into what we talking about on this football field. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, you got people talking about, well, it was only a screen pass. Well, guess what? If he missed the screen pass, you would have been like, he's so inaccurate, he missed the screen pass. I'm not gonna deduct no points because he was accurate on a pass that went 66 yards. That's how you get wrapped up in it. Like it'd be a whole lot of culture wars going on. That's what it's, oh my goodness, I can't stand because there's a lot of people that don't like him because he's confident. Bro, listen, stop with the bravado, bro. At the end of the day, you don't got a problem with thousands of other people who are either cocky, arrogant. Matter of fact, you might be married to one of them. As a matter of fact, your father is one of them. As a matter of fact, we got a brother-in-law that's always cocky and arrogant and be talking to, but you still love him, don't you? See, this is a problem, G. Bush. You get off all into you was doing good. You was doing real good the first two segments. Then you get all off into this other stuff. And that's why people. But here's the thing, guys. More than anything, you should be invested in whoever's on your team. And let's talk about, we don't need to juxtapose Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. We are past that. We don't need to bring up that fact that he wasn't playing, or he was a 5th round pick, or what you heard from Brian Dable, who's fired, in his draft evaluation. What we should be worried about is today. I want to judge what we doing with him on the field against the 49ers, not whether or not he could throw the ball better than Dillon Gabriel, because that's not the bar. My bar was never for Shedeur Sanders to be the same level as Dillon Gabriel, no disrespect. My bar was, let's get to this championship. Let's find a franchise quarterback. Let's win this division. Let's talk about Pro Bowls. Let's talk about going head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. That's what I'm on. I ain't on no regular whether or not he's the same level or who throws this or who's more ready. Man, stop all that noise. We today. And today is the only thing guaranteed to you. So while we looking at it, let's get ready and let's get ready to operate. And at once, I hope after we continue to put things together, y'all will come around and we can actually come together and actually start talking about the Cleveland Browns as one fan base under one goal, which is if Shedeur Sanders is good, that means the Browns is good. If the Browns is good, that means Shedeur Sanders is good. And that is all we here for. With that being said, you never know when G. Bush going to show up, radio, TV, or internet. But if you want the fresh coat on sports, I keep the Clippers with me. Have a good rest of your weekend, good rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays out there. And as always, you know what it is. No matter what I'll be talking about, it's Go Browns.